This video is a compilation of true crime stories that have been published in the last 48 hours. Each topic is troubling and heartbreaking. Full condolences to all victims and their families. Viewer discretion is advised. Scott Jeff, 24 years of age, of Ipswich, Suffolk, in England, United Kingdom, has been convicted of murdering 2-year-old Isabella Wilden after a 6 weeks trial. The jury found scumbag Scott Jeff guilty of murder as well as 2 counts of child cruelty. Isabella's mother, her name Chelsea Gleason-Mitchell, also 24 years old, was cleared of murder but admitted to causing or allowing Isabella's death and pled guilty to 2 charges of child cruelty. Tragically, Isabella died June 26, 2023 at the East Villa Temporary Accommodation Unit in Sidegate Lane, Ipswich. The scumbag Scott Jeff subjected Isabella to a regime of escalating brutality, including beatings and cold showers as punishment. Again, Isabella, 2 years old, subjected to horrific brutality. A post-mortem revealed soft tissue injuries, fractures, and a torn vagina. There's no further information in that regard, but seemingly 2-year-old Isabella was sexually abused. Isabella's cause of death was a bone marrow embolism due to the injuries she sustained. Evidence that was shown at the 6 weeks trial included a video showing Isabella with 2 distinct black eyes on June the 22nd, 4 days before her tragic death. Scumbag Scott Jeff's Google searches about a child bleeding from the vagina and a child not responding, CCTV footage of Isabella being pushed around wearing sunglasses and a hood to conceal her injuries. It even gets worse. After Isabella's death, Scott Jeff and Isabella's mother concealed Isabella's death for 4 days. They even took her shopping, took her to pubs, they pushed her in a pushchair, they even went out, bought an Xbox and carried it on top of deceased Isabella. The mother, Chelsea Gleason-Mitchell, told a friend that Isabella had stopped breathing in her sleep. They planned to bury her body. Well, mother, Chelsea, if your child stops breathing, you contact authorities. If your child dies due to natural causes, you give them a burial. You don't push them around deceased in a pushchair to shops and pubs. Thankfully, the 2 scumbags were arrested July the 1st. Scumbag Scott Jeff initially denied responsibility. It wasn't him, apparently. Isabella died due to unseen natural causes, according to him. The mother, thankfully, was more forthcoming to authorities. She claimed that Scott Jeff constantly abused Isabella, punched her, kicked her, gave her cold showers. Well, mother, why the fuck didn't you intervene? Traces of cocaine and cannabis were found in Isabella's body, which indicates that drug use occurred in her environment. Again, both have been found guilty. Scott Jeff has been found guilty, convicted of murder. The mother been found guilty of child cruelty. Sentencing should happen December the 13th. Scott Jeff faces a mandatory life sentence. Good, and this is England, so we do have to be careful. Let's hope life means life. Often it doesn't. Often life means perhaps a decade, slightly more, slightly less, in jail, in prison, and then too many murderers get released on probation, on parole. I dare say that the mother, Chelsea Gleason-Mitchell, will get little more than a slap on the wrist. Her child, Isabella, murdered, beaten, seemingly sexually abused by the mother's boyfriend. She was aware of it. She told authorities that he regularly beat Isabella. Yep, she did fuck all. Pushed her around in a pushchair when she was dead. My speculation is that the mother, Chelsea Gleason-Mitchell, will get little more than a slap on the wrist. Sure, she'll be jailed. She'll get prison time for 2, maybe 3 years, something like that. And I'm being serious. Let's wait and see, but it's going to be an incredibly light sentence. I guarantee it. This is what happens in the United Kingdom. For women in particular. They're given a pass, frankly. Of course, full condolences to all concerned. And let's hope that the judge is harsh when it comes to sentencing. Moving on to the next topic, Pipit Linz, 43 years of age, of Haverfordwest in Pembrokeshire, England, has pleaded guilty to manslaughter, but she denied murder charges in relation to the death of her 7-year-old son, Louis Linz, who died January 10th, 2024. The prosecution accepted her plea to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Tragically, Louis was found dead in bed after the mother called emergency services. He was pronounced dead at the Withby Bush General Hospital. The mother, Pipit Linz, is currently in custody at Caswell Clinic, which is a medium secure mental health unit. Sentencing is scheduled for December the 13th. So again, she denied murder charges, but she pled guilty to manslaughter. She claims responsibility for killing her own son, 7-year-old Louis Linz. She claims, and seemingly the authorities agree, that she does or did suffer diminished responsibility due to her mental state. She's in a mental health unit. Let's hope she remains locked up for the rest of time crime. Of course, full condolences to all those touched by this horrendous murder. Moving on to the next topic, Kelsey Glover, 35 years of age, of Point Siena in Osceola County, Florida, has been arrested for allegedly drowning her 14-year-old daughter, her name Giselle. She was drowned in a bathtub. Police responded to a 911 call and they found the mother, Kelsey Glover, wielding a hammer. Police wrestled the hammer away from her and searched the premises. Giselle was found unresponsive in the bathroom and tragically she later died at the hospital. According to witnesses, which includes another child and a roommate, the mother, Kelsey Glover, held Giselle's head underwater in the bathtub. When the child and the roommate tried to intervene, Kelsey Glover allegedly attacked them both with a hammer, chasing them both around the house. Kelsey Glover was uncooperative with authorities. She showed no reaction to her daughter's death. We're told that the investigation is ongoing and they are still confirming the cause of death, so presumably an autopsy is underway. We're told that the mother, Kelsey Glover, has a history of battery charges against the children's father. Perhaps authorities could have intervened to protect Giselle and other children in the family home before this tragedy occurred. At this point in time, Kelsey faces charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but it is expected that additional charges will be added once Giselle's cause of death is established. We can see in the perp walk, in the photos, in the video, that she's smiling, she's laughing, she's using profanities and racial slurs. She doesn't seem to grasp the gravity of the situation. She seemingly, allegedly, has murdered her own 14-year-old daughter, Giselle, and this is no big deal. Is she going to be able to argue diminished responsibility due to her mental health? Perhaps so, I don't know. Either way, let's hope justice is served, and of course, full condolences to all those touched by this tragedy, Giselle's family, friends, those in the local community. Moving on to the next topic, Jennifer Lynn Vargas, 42 years of age, of Blair Township in Michigan, has been arrested for allegedly assaulting her own daughter on November the 8th, 2024. Jennifer Vargas faces charges of assault with intent to murder and first-degree child abuse. Both of those charges carry potential life sentences. We're told that the incident occurred just before midnight, November the 8th, at Vargas's home, where Michigan State Police responded and interviewed both Jennifer Lynn Vargas and her daughter. The daughter reported that her mother hit her multiple times, strangled her to the point that the girl lost consciousness. The mother allegedly bit her neck and threw the victim, Jennifer Lynn Vargas's daughter, head first down the stairs. It didn't end there. Allegedly, the mother slammed the daughter's head into the floor. Seemingly, the daughter ran into a bedroom and locked herself in, but the mother broke through that door and told her daughter that she was going to be sacrificed. The daughter had multiple visible injuries, including a bite mark and a cut from struggling over a knife. The daughter was taken to Munson Medical Center for treatment. The mother, Jennifer Lynn Vargas, is being held on a $250,000 bond, so that's pretty high. I applaud that. The judge has ordered that the mother has no contact with her daughter, and we're told that a preliminary hearing is scheduled for December the 2nd. Of course, we hope and expect that justice takes its course, that there is a trial, or at the very least some kind of hearing. Perhaps the mother will plead guilty, we don't know at this point. But either way, of course, the suspect deserve their time in court, their opportunity to make a plea, defend their case should they wish to. But following that, if they are found guilty in a court of law, then let's hope sentencing is harsh. Seemingly, allegedly, this scumbag mother, Jennifer Lynn Vargas, nearly killed her own daughter, threw her headfirst down the stairs, bit her, strangled her, threatened to sacrifice her. They struggled over a knife. The article that I've read through hasn't given me specific details, but it does seem, I am hoping, that the daughter is okay physically, but of course this is going to be hugely traumatic. Can we see a silver lining? Perhaps we can. Again, we're not told specifics, it's a little bit too early for that, but I think it's reasonable to presume that the daughter will be removed from the family home, so let's hope that she is moved to safety, and with that to a loving, caring, supportive environment, which is something seemingly she did not have at home with her psychopathic mother. Moving on to the next topic, Melissa Marie Curtis, 32 years of age, of Upper Marlboro in Maryland, was sentenced to 30 years in prison for sexually abusing a 14-year-old student in 2015, but this sexual deviant will only serve 12 months behind bars. That's right, sentenced to 30 years in prison, but will only serve 12 months in prison. Make that make sense. Curtis was a teacher at Montgomery Village Middle School as well as Lakelands Park Middle School in Gaithersburg, and she pleaded guilty to sex offense charges on June 20th earlier this this year. The abuse came to light in October 2023 when the victim, who is now an adult, reported that Curtis had supplied alcohol and marijuana to the victim and initiated sexual encounters at the school, in her vehicle, and at her mother's home. Curtis turned herself in November the 7th, 2023, facing charges of sexual abuse of a minor and multiple counts of third and fourth degree sexual offenses. She pled guilty. She was sentenced to 30 years, but it was all suspended other than 12 months. In addition to that, she will serve 5 years of probation and she must register as a sex offender. But that's it. What's the point in sentencing someone to 30 years in jail only to enforce that they serve 12 months in jail? It's pathetic, but seemingly teachers sexually abusing their students isn't a problem in Maryland. I'm being facetious only to point out the ridiculousness, the wrongfulness of this situation. Moving on to the next topic. Miguel Sandoval, 19 years of age, of Lancaster, California, has been arrested for allegedly killing 4 people as well as 3 dogs in a mass shooting. He then allegedly set the home on fire. This absolute tragedy occurred November the 16th, 2024. The victims have been identified as Christine Aca-ac. Perhaps my pronunciation is incorrect. Apologies if so. Christine Aca-ac. Her fiance Edwin Garcia. Christine's brother Janvi McQuindang. And Janvi's partner Matthew Montebello. 4 people killed along with 3 dogs. Los Angeles Sheriff's Department deputies discovered the brutal scene at around 1:30 a.m. November the 16th. 3 of the victims were pronounced dead at the scene. A 4th died later in the hospital. There is a silver lining, that is that a 16-year-old girl was thankfully found uninjured within the burning building. That's right, she was hiding, scared for her life, no doubt. The house is on fire, 4 people killed, and thankfully she was found uninjured. We're told that authorities believe a party was held at the home earlier in the evening. The suspect, Miguel Sandoval, was known to the victims, but the relationships and the motive remain unclear at this point. It is believed that the suspect shot the victims multiple times before setting the house ablaze and then fleeing the scene like a coward scumbag that he no doubt is. Thankfully, he was captured hours later, but we're told that he's not yet been charged. Perhaps the authorities are being patient to gather appropriate evidence before laying down appropriate charges, which I would imagine will include 4 counts of murder. There is at least one GoFundMe that describes Christine as being a loving sister who was legal guardian to 2 younger siblings. We're told that Christine's brother Janvi was a successful valedictorian, and I'm sure all of the victims were fine young people just embarking on their lives, and they've lost their lives in this terrible, terrible way. Let's hope justice is served. Of course, Miguel Sandoval has yet to face a trial. For all we know, perhaps he'll plead guilty at some point. He deserves an opportunity to present his case should he choose to, and the families of the victims deserve justice. If he is found guilty or pleads guilty, give him the death penalty. I believe that's appropriate in California. Give him the death penalty. The very, very least, lock him up for life. 19 years of age, taken 4 lives, allegedly. Of course, killed 3 dogs as well, disrupted multiple families, the community, and thrown away his own life. Of course, full condolences. Moving on to the next topic. Xavier Holton, 19 years of age, of Cary, North Carolina, is suspected of killing his own mother, Erica Holton, 54 years of age, and his own girlfriend, Amina Guy, 19 years of age, before taking his own life. This triple murder-suicide occurred November 20th, 2024. Police found Erica and Amina dead in the living room of Erica's home. Xavier was discovered in an upstairs bathroom with a handgun nearby. Xavier's stepfather alerted authorities, called police after hearing loud pops during a phone call with Xavier's mother, Erica. We're told that Xavier had been experiencing mental health issues, including suicidal thoughts and hearing voices. Less than 2 weeks prior to these tragic events, Xavier had attempted suicide by crashing his car at high speed on Interstate 440 and subsequently stayed at a mental health facility, but seemingly was released and has tragically, allegedly enacted this horrific triple murder-suicide. An absolute tragedy rocked the Holton family and, of course, the family and friends of his girlfriend Amina Guy, shaken the community of Cary, North Carolina, and no true justice will be served. If the details are correct, Xavier took the lives of his mother and his girlfriend, then took his own life. A terrible, terrible tragedy, and he's not going to face justice. Of course, full condolences to all concerned. Moving on to the next topic. Catherine Harper, 45 years of age, and Corey Harper, 47 years of age, teenage from Norfolk in Virginia have been charged after an horrific attack on a 24-year-old employee of Mod Pizza, which occurred November 20th, 2024. The incident began when Catherine Harper allegedly argued with the employee over a botched order. We've heard of this type of thing before. Somebody gets upset because the order wasn't to their liking for whatever trivial reason. This bitch, this banshee, called her husband to handle the situation. Hey hubby, I'm annoyed. Why don't you stab the employee? That's seemingly what Corey Harper did. He allegedly stabbed the employee multiple times, disemboweling him, exposing the 24-year-old employee's intestines. Stabbed multiple times. Thankfully, the injuries are described as being non-life-threatening. Hopefully, the employee makes a full recovery. Perhaps he won't. I'm not a doctor, but I would imagine that there'll be some lifetime repercussions. Of course, the two absolute fucking psychopathic lunatics fled the scene. Thankfully, they were later arrested. They've both been charged with malicious wounding and they've been denied bond. But where's the attempted murder charge or charges? What's going to happen here? Well, they've been given a light charge in my mind, malicious wounding. Why not attempted murder? Well, they're queuing this up to let him off early. Give him a bit of a slap on the wrist. No big deal. He just disemboweled somebody for no good reason. Well, the customer wasn't happy with the service they were provided. That's the justification, seemingly. What's going to happen to Catherine Harper? Probably nothing. She told, allegedly, her husband to handle the situation. She was the initial instigator, but she didn't stab anybody. And in my mind, that's going to give Virginia authorities, perhaps the DA, I don't know, to grant her a pass. There you go, lady. No big deal. The 24-year-old employee that was stabbed multiple times didn't die. Then let's forget about it. No big deal. That's what's going to happen in my estimation. I could be wrong, but I'm just reading between the lines here. They've both been charged with malicious wounding. Why not a more serious charge? Perhaps I'm entirely wrong. Perhaps malicious wounding is a very serious charge, but I don't know. I'm presuming, guessing that it isn't, or certainly isn't as serious as attempted murder would be. We're told that Mod Pizza has expressed dismay over the incident, stating that they have zero tolerance for behavior that escalates conflicts. The company is cooperating with the police investigation and reviewing their employee training procedures. I'm just going to make a quick comment on that. I'm not aware of the full details here. I don't know what the employee did to provoke this situation, if they did anything at all. But here's my take on the situation. I would say with 99.9% certainty, there was no justification for stabbing and disemboweling the employee. What the fuck could the employee have done to justify such an attack? Nothing. Not unless the employee physically attacked them, and I believe if that were the case, it would have been laid out as such within the article that I went through. So what did the employee do? Were they so-called rude? Did they say some bad words? Well, if so, then so be it. You don't get to fucking stab somebody multiple times just because you're upset with them. Sorry, scumbags. Doesn't happen. So I do hope that the 24-year-old Mod Pizza employee does make a full recovery. Again, we are told that the severity of his injuries are not life-threatening, so that's a good thing. I've made an assumption there. I don't know if it was a male employee, and I do hope that justice is served. Those are the topics that I'm going to cover within this video. Again, deepest condolences to all of the victims and their families and friends. Everyone touched by the tragedies covered within this video. I have covered several harrowing topics. If this has brought you down mentally, then do take a break. You don't need to watch all of my videos. I was previously very active on YouTube. I've become active on X, and I'm just restarting making videos. Haven't done that for quite some time. If I've done a half decent job, please do like, comment, subscribe. I'm not monetized on YouTube nor X at this point in time, but I do hope to be. Perhaps you can stick around. If you've got any feedback, any suggestions, any requests, feel free to send me a message on my X channel, True Crime Update. As I say, I've not made a video for quite some time. I've somewhat enjoyed making this video. I do hope to get back into the swing of things and make regular videos, but of course it is demanding. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for listening.